Hey friends, welcome to my first cooking video. I'm going to be showing you 5 somewhat healthy family dinners that I cook on repeat. We have spent a lot of time trying to find what we enjoy as a family through many experimental meals, so these 5 meals have made the cut and I continue to make these on a monthly basis. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into these recipes. For the first recipe, we're going to be making a famous family recipe that my husband's grandma has wowed us with for years. We call it Graham's chicken, and pretty much everybody on his side of the family makes this on a regular basis. So I'm just cutting up the potatoes and chicken into 1 to 2 inch cubes, and I will crack an egg into my mixing bowl. We're going to add 1/4 cup of oil. I'm using olive oil. Give it a whisk. Now we're going to add a cup of white vinegar, 4 tablespoons brown sugar, 1 tablespoon poultry seasoning, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and mix. Now you're going to pour your mixture on top of your chicken. I'm using a 9x13 size pan, and I'm just evening it all out. Your oven should be preheated to 350, and you're going to cook it for 1.5 hours. So about 20 minutes before my chicken is done cooking, I will get my potatoes started. I'm putting my cut potatoes right in the pot and bringing the water to a boil. They cooked in about 15 minutes and my chicken is done as well. When serving this dish, definitely put some of those delicious juices on top of your potatoes. The flavor is so good. And here's my 2-year-old's plate. He also seems to really enjoy this meal. On to the next recipe. We just found this one a little over a month ago, and I've already made it 2 times again because it's so good. I'm not a big fan of chili, but man oh man, does that pumpkin flavoring really just make the dish. So I'm cutting up 1/2 cup of green peppers, 1/2 cup of red peppers, 1 small onion, and 3 garlic cloves. The original recipe calls for chicken, but I prefer turkey burgers, so I will go ahead and cook that until the meat is fully brown. And it is time to mix the spices. So we have 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon red cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon oregano, and of course, pepper and salt. Now that our spices are ready, let's heat up some olive oil and add our onions and peppers. We're going to let that cook until the veggies are soft, and then add your garlic and stir. And now we're going to add pretty much all of our ingredients except the coconut milk, which is saved for last. So here's the chicken broth, undrained kidney beans, undrained diced tomatoes, a full can of pumpkin. Don't let that scare you, I'm telling you, it's delicious. A drained can of beans, whatever kind you prefer, all of the spices, and of course the turkey burger. Mix it all up and cover it with a lid. We are going to cook it on a simmer for 15 minutes. Oh look, that was a quick 15 minutes. Time sure flies. So on to my favorite ingredient of all time, coconut milk. It can make any dish so good. I literally keep multiple cans in stock at all times because I love the flavor and creaminess it brings to a meal. Highly recommended. And look at that beautiful color. Actually, this is the color of many unbeautiful things, but we don't need to let our minds go there. But seriously, it's scrumptious. Of course, you can't eat any kind of chili or soup without cheese on top. That just wouldn't be right. And there you have it, a beautiful bowl of pumpkin turkey chili. Now this is a treat. I actually did not use traditional pasta because I'm trying to show you healthier meals. I used this gluten-free, plant-based pasta. It's made out of chickpeas. How cool is that? And it was scrumptious in this dish. Obviously not as good as real pasta, but honestly the difference wasn't all that noticeable. Now here's where the dish gets all of its goodness from, extra sharp cheddar cheese, and you got to shred it yourself because it really just isn't as good when you buy it prepackaged. You get more flavor this way, I'm telling you guys, it's the truth. So my water is now boiling and I can put in the pasta. Set your timer for 4 minutes, and then after the 4 minutes are up, add in your broccoli, 4 cups of broccoli to be exact. Stir it and put the timer on for another 4 minutes to finish cooking the pasta. Grab your colander and pour out your pasta and broccoli. Now use the same pot you used for the pasta and add 3 tablespoons of butter. We are going to make a roux. Once the butter is melted, put in a total of 3 tablespoons of flour and have that whisk handy. Keep whisking until all the flour disappears and the butter is thickening. Then you're going to add 2 cups of heated milk. I heat it right in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes, but just add in a little at a time into the pot and keep on whisking. Once that little amount thickens, then add more milk and just keep doing this little by little until all the milk is in the pot and the sauce is thick. Now I'm grabbing the cheese I shredded earlier and putting about 3/4 of a cup of the cheese into the pot. Turn off the heat and let the cheese melt until the cheese and the sauce are one. I'm adding some spices. We got pepper, some onion powder, a little bit of ground mustard. I'm just eyeballing it. Whisk it up and the cheese is nice and melted. So I will go ahead and add my broccoli pasta mix right in there. Mix it all until everything is evenly coated and let's prepare our pan. I'm using a 9x13 pan and spraying it with olive oil to prevent sticking. Pour it right in there, spread it out evenly, and add your remaining cheeses. Your oven should be preheated to 350 and you're going to want to cook it for either 30 minutes or until the cheese is bubbly and brown. On to my favorite recipe, mango chicken curry. I went to this Indian restaurant and ordered this meal. It was my first time trying curry, so I was taking a chance, but I loved it so much that I have now made this on repeat over a dozen times. I cooked the chicken in the crock pot on high for 4 hours, and now it is nice and tender, so I'm shredding it all up with 2 forks. Now that the chicken's done, I'm going to start my rice. I'm using the knockoff brand of the Instapot because it doubles as a rice maker, so I've mainly been using this to cook rice. These are all the ingredients you will need to make your curry. When I cook, I like to take every ingredient out ahead of time to make everything just a little less chaotic because cooking can be totally chaotic at times. I already cut up about 3/4 of a cup of peppers, 1 onion, and 2 garlic cloves, so there's everything. Let's get started. I'm opening up the frozen mangoes and getting ready to defrost them in the microwave. Then in a large pot, I will heat up some olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. I'm adding in the onions and the peppers and I'll give it about 5 minutes to soften, stirring here and there. I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of ginger because I don't like it as spicy as the recipe calls for, and my 2 garlic cloves as well. Let that cook for another minute and then I will add in 1/2 teaspoon of cumin and 2 full tablespoons of yellow curry, which is a big part of what makes this flavor so good. I added a little more oil so that the spices will absorb a little easier. Mix it up and let it cook for another few minutes. Next, I will add in 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, a full can of coconut milk, and 1/2 of the defrosted mangoes. Mix it all together, add some salt and pepper, and maintain a low simmer for about 15 minutes. And would you look at that? My rice is done and it looks scrumptious. So 15 minutes have now passed and I'm going to grab my blender and pour in the mixture. We are going to blend all those chunks into a nice, smooth, creamy curry sauce. Look how smooth it's coming out. I'm putting it right back into the pot and it's time to add my shredded chicken. Mix it into the pot and then I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of golden raisins. I never knew about golden raisins before this recipe. Why would anyone eat regular raisins after trying golden raisins? They're delicious. So cover up your pot and return it to a low simmer for about 8 minutes, and then after your 8 minutes are up, turn off the heat and add in the very last ingredient, which is the other 1/2 of the mangoes. You won't regret making this dish, I promise you guys. For the next recipe, we are going to make this simple and affordable sheet pan with baked potatoes. And who doesn't love a baked potato? You can use whatever veggies you'd like, but I'm using zucchini and broccoli. We eat a lot of broccoli in our home and it's definitely our go-to vegetable. For our meat, I'm using this package of sausage. I like to buy these to leave in the back of the refrigerator because they last a long time, they're cheap, and they save me on those days where we are living off the scraps in our fridge because we haven't shopped in weeks. I'm also cutting up an onion to throw into our mix, and I will preheat the oven to 425. While that's preheating, I'm going to start rubbing oil onto the potatoes and then add a generous amount of salt. Make sure you poke holes into your potatoes unless you enjoy explosions in your oven. Then you can skip this step. Bake your potatoes for about 55 minutes. Let's get back to our meat and veggies. We're mixing them all together and it's time for our spices. So we have a half of a teaspoon of garlic powder, a fourth of a teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and put a lid on and mix it well. Now you'll need a 9x13 cookie sheet and some parchment paper to prevent sticking. Pour your mixture on it and spread it all out evenly. It's best to get as thin of a layer as possible, but I ran out of cooking sheets, so there's that. You're going to bake your meat and veggie pan for about 8 minutes and then turn everything over and bake for another 8 minutes, or until everything is crispy to your liking. And yes, I seriously need to clean my oven. I know! Hey, if your mouth just watered, go ahead and give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching this today. If you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know and I can make more like it. I hope I gave you some kind of inspiration today, and happy cooking to you all.